As you can see from everything that's on my desk today, we are going to use these little alphabet beads and make some word charms. It is right here. We're in the midst of October and Halloween when I'm recording this. And so I am going to make these little charms with words that go along with Halloween. I have these little black charms with the white lettering that I think are going to work great. But then I've also got some other letters, and we'll just see what we can come up with our things. I am also trying to make a little box that has different Halloween ephemera in it. That way I know exactly what box to go to when I'm looking for my Halloween beads and charms. So I'm going to also be keeping my little words in there. So I thought today would be a great day to work on these things and have them available when we're ready to use them. And my favorite little jewelry tool is my bead looper. Mine makes a 1.5 millimeter circle, and I'm going to show you how I use that along with my eye pins that I have. I have these in silver, and I also have them in gold. And so a lot of times I end up using the silver with the black, but you know, it all depends on what I'm making. So I'm probably going to lean toward more making the silver ones today, and if I need to use the gold, I can. So I said I was doing Halloween words, and so one of the things that I've noticed, as you can tell with the spooky, and let me grab one of my eye pins. Now there's a difference, let me show you, between what we call a head pin and an eye pin. So the eye pin has this little circle already at the top, and that makes it nice to go ahead and you can add a jump ring to it, or go ahead and add it directly to another bead or something like that that is on, it's a jump ring. You don't even have to add a jump ring to that. A lot of times I like to do that though. I like to add a jump ring here to add a little bit more of a dangle on my different charms and stuff. But that is an eye pin versus, and my pen is a little crooked, as you can tell here. I don't know what happened here, but this is a head pin, and it is the flat head, and I use that with pieces as well. Usually I'm going to use the eye pin and then close it off with a loop. That's the loop I have closed off, and I'm going to show you how I do that with my bead looper. Other thing I wanted to mention with my eye pins, the ones that I have found are 2 inches long. And so what we have to be concerned with our words, let's see, 1, 2, 3, there's 6 letters in spooky. And it was kind of pushing it towards the end. I had to come in and use my round nose pliers to finish off, just because there wasn't that much of the pin left for me to do the loop. So what I needed to do is find a few shorter words like eek, that's a good one. Any kind of 3-letter word would be good. I went to my trusty ChatGPT and asked it to generate for me, you know, starting with 10 words related to Halloween that are 5 letters or less. I came up with multiple lists. Some of these are going to work great for me. I'm not really one that does a lot of scary Halloween stuff. I'm more into the like whimsical kind of Halloween-y, I would say. And so that's kind of more of the words that I was going for. And so I asked it to bring up, and it would, you know, come up and ask, do you want, and it must know me because it asked, do you want more whimsical words? And so it came up with words like baddie, and even funnier words that webby, things that I wouldn't necessarily use. So I didn't go with those. But I thought we could start with this, because what I'm finding, if you can tell, I've shown this before in other videos, I have my alphabet divided up. Again, I use ChatGPT for this to help me to see the most used letters, how you would divide them into 4 different groups. And so it split those up, as you can see here. I just opened a pack of new black ones here, and I only had 1 O in it. 1 O. And so I had to go back and find in here in the pink, the K through P, and find another O to even do this spooky. So it may be kind of challenging to do some of these words, but I thought we would just get started on some and see how it goes. So let's start out with a word, maybe this 3-letter word. We could go with cat. That should be pretty straightforward to find. I love to do black cats for Halloween, and so let's do a cat. And I'm just going to use these. Like I said, this was a new pack that I have not divvied out yet. I thought it may be easier to just look through those, and so we'll pull out the C, and you may spot the letters before I do. C, A, and I need a T. Can we see a T in here? You know what? I don't even see a T, and it may be there. I'll go back and look through the video and I'm gonna see it, but I don't see a T there now. And so that should be in my Q through Z packet here. I thought a T would definitely be easy to find. Oh, was that one? I see it here in my little container. Oh, and it's been hard. I get to reach in there and get it. Let's see if I poured it into my hand. Do we see a T? That's the only thing, but there it is right on top. If I can grab it, or you know what I might do is, I don't have my tweezers right here, but I have my pliers. Can I grab it? I feel like I'm playing that game, the game where you're trying to grab a prize in the thing. I finally got it. So there's cat. So let me show you how this works with the bead looper. Like I said, this is probably my favorite jewelry tool. Got a link in the description below for this. So what we're going to do first though is I'm going to take my eye pen, and I just like to place the letters on here from right to left, or from left to right, reading cat, C-A-T. So we're going to let it drop all the way to the bottom on that eye pen, and we have this amount left over. Now, if I can save it and use it, usually for a bead, I may not can use it for another word or something, I'm gonna save this piece as much as I can. So I wanna go all the way to the end, and I usually try to take my hand here and push. I'm pushing the letters down as I'm holding it. Then I take this, and if you'll notice in our bead looper, there's this little hole. I don't know how well you can see it, but you're gonna be able to see how the pen comes out on the other end. It's gonna cut this off, and as it does, I like to place it so I can grab that piece. I'm gonna save it, and it wrapped that end of the pen in a circle, and it makes that loop, as we can call it now. It's kind of hard. The letters are turning as I want them to, and there is the loop that it formed. If the loop has too much of an opening, maybe if you need it closed a little bit, which this one looks fine, you can take your round nose pliers and just loop them through there and twist it a little bit, and it will close off that circle. Or if, let's see, we need to kind of turn it a little bit, we can do that as well. This is great then you're able to attach it, like I said, with the jump rings. If we want to hang it from a dangle, or even, let me grab a paper clip. One of my favorite and easiest things to do is just to take a paper clip. You can slide your word onto the paper clip. It's there, and it is a little dangle unto itself. And if you have other little beads or something, like, you know, you can go through here, add a bead to your bead looper. We can do that as well. I'll save that for another project, because right now we're focusing on our words. But that is a great project to have, and see how easy it is to make a dangle. So we have a couple of words here and an extra piece. This is where I was saying I would make a loop, and I'll save that and show you on another project as well how I save these and can use those on beads. We have our word cat. We can do, and again, I thought that was going to be easy. What about web? I think web should be easy with the W-E. Can we see an E in here? I see the B. And I'm looking for an E. I don't see it. Some of these packs, it surprises me that you don't get more, but you know, there is an E though. Let's grab it with my pliers. I have one right here on top, and it's in the black and white. Got it. So we've got a web that we can do. Would that not be cute if we have a spider? And I do have a spider somewhere, a little spider charm. That would be great with that, to spell out web. So I'm going to grab me another eye pen. We'll do this one and we'll do another long one. So again, we start here and we're just going to put on the letters W, E, B. So fun. This would be a great project to sit while you're in front of the television and just pick out your words, because it's so easy. You get those in place, run it through your looper, squeeze. I do a little bit of extra twist sometime, and there we've got it. Now this one, I probably should have gotten it a little bit closer. I see it's kind of moving a little bit, but let me show you what I do. I'm going to take my round nose pliers, twist it in, and I'm just going to twist. And that just brings it a little bit tighter, and so we don't have as much movement. You may be fine with movement, and that's what good and well as can be. But there we have web. And here's my little extra piece from the cut that the bead looper made, and I will put that in my packet for our next project. Next, I want to use the word treat. I'm not going to put an S on the end, so we're going to have a 5-letter word, treat. Let's not use the black and white either. Let's go with, let's see, I have some larger letters and a little bit smaller. Of course, with the larger letters, that's not going to work, I don't believe. So I need to use the smaller letters. I need treat, and this is what I mean. So like this is a larger letter, but then I've got some smaller ones. Here's an R. I need this R, so I'm going to go with this R. And let's see what else we need. We need a couple of T's. So I'm going to pour some of this in my hand, and then if you see one, yell out to me. I wish you were here and that you could help me with that. So I see another R. There's a T. I have one T. T-R. I need another T. There's another T. I see it in purple, but I feel like if I put my fingers down in it, I'm going to lose it. There it is in purple. Okay. So we have T, R, and T. And now we need an E and an A. So E's are going to be over here. And I see an E. See it in the red. T-R-E and an A. I hope there's an A, and I see one in pink. It's a lighter pink. So that's the only other thing. Now these two, the T and the R side by side, are the same color, but you know, we can swap these out, can't we? We can swap those to make them different. And because I was having some trouble finding some T's, that may be the only one. So I think this looks really cute. It's going to be more on our whimsical side. And let's grab an eye pen. So here is my eye pen, and let's just place these on here. And the only other thing you may need to check is if the hole of your charm is larger than that eye pen. You would want to check that, or your bead. I said charm. I feel like we're making charms out of little beads. So that should fit on there nicely. And so I'm going to hold this in place again. Hold this down towards the end. Take my bead looper. And we'll squeeze that. Loop around, and there we go. Treat, cute as can be. And grab that little piece out of there. I don't know if we'll fit a bead on it or not, but we will save it and try. We could use little bitty beads, and those always look cute dangling off of different pieces. So I'm going to keep on working on some of my words, and if you want to grab a copy of this, you can. Just take a look at it here or do a screenshot. These are some of the words that I'm going to be using and making up. And I hope you enjoy watching this today. I highly recommend a bead looper. They're so fun. And like I said, we're doing words today and we'll do beads on another day. So thanks for joining me, and be sure and watch for the next video that I have where I'll share another fun Halloween project, or it could be another season and we'll try a new project on that season. So we'll see you on the next project.